I am sat here with Phil Harris, and we're just going to chat about how the day's been. So, what have you been up to?
It's been good. I've gone around, looked at some guitars, obviously, seen some nice things and some hand-built stuff, but I'm a bit sort of set in my ways, hence this guitar here. But and I managed to have a play today, which is good. I mean, I love playing guitar, and it's very special today because I actually, rather than playing with a band that were helping me, sort of backing me to discuss specification and all this, this is a sprocket and non-wire bridge and all this. We're not doing that, so I actually played some songs from people that used these guitars, the Sunburst Standard, back in the day in the 70s,
awesome stuff.
60s, 70s, right. So this is one that I had. This actually wound up, it sounds very blasé, this ended up being a spare.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got a dodgy machine head, and I didn't know that, but so it kept it as a spare. But
it's really beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's lovely.
It's a beautiful guitar. It's a 1958, this one. So it's 60 years old, and it looks in much better nick than I do. But it's had an easier life, hasn't it?
Yeah.
As I say, so I really enjoyed playing. It was really good. I played with my old friends. That's Bill Statry, the drummer.
Awesome stuff,
He's fantastic, and Chris Pascalidis, and we was all brought up in Kennington together back in the late 60s when I started playing. And I started playing when I was 13, it makes it 1968.
Wow.
I know. There's a big mystique about these guitars, and I used to play them. I'm not even going to go into it because it sounds like ain't I lovely, but I've owned a lot of these guitars, 58 to 60 bursts. So I like taking them around and showing them. See, another 40 years time, your PRS is going to become a classic, and you're attached to it and know the DNA. So what better person to demonstrate it but you?
Yeah, of course.
And the same thing now for me. Well, I've been playing these guitars all my life. So I love to go out and just play the guitar and play. I only play Les Paul Standards, the only things I use at shows, because I feel sorry for the people today. They've got the reissues, they've got replicas, but
none of the originals.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, like a guitar like this is probably, you're talking about 250 to 300,000 pounds. It could be more somewhere. I mean, I know some places.
That stuff.
Yeah, that's right. You could. This is a big deposit on a house. This one.
Yeah,
but,
for sure. Have you always played Gibsons? So it's been something that's been a part of you.
I used to play Les Pauls as a guitar that I liked.
Yep.
But I use a Strat as a trick guitar.
Oh, a trick guitar?
Yeah.
How so?
Because in my era, my influences was a guy called Alvin Lee. You've probably never heard of him.
No.
He was the fastest guitar player in the late 60s.
Okay.
He played at Woodstock and all
wow.
this. And he was just really super fast. So I got the speed from Alvin Lee, because you will be based on a selection of people.
For sure, yeah.
You know, we all take a little bit. And the other thing was, when I was 13 in 68, I met Jimi Hendrix. This hand has shook Jimi Hendrix. A living, breathing Jimi Hendrix shook that hand.
That's insane. I'm very jealous of you.
It looked a lot younger, that hand, then. It does now, anyway. But anyway, I met him, and it's a massive influence on me. And the reason the Strat became a trick guitar, my guitar of choice to play for sound was one of these. But I loved the Strat because I used to wind it up, fuzz face, Marshalls, and God knows what else. Yeah. And what you could do, you could play the springs in the back.
You can, yeah.
And you can sort of get your hand behind the block, above the nut, and then use a tremolo.
Yeah, of course.
And you could play it behind your head, because where it's all concert, it's a lot easier. So I was a young just a young buck, really. And so the Strat, to me, I never really got to grips with it as an actual serious guitar.
So it's more just a show guitar, just to show off and do some party tricks.
I remember back in the day when I was 19, I was with a band and we were supporting Thin Lizzy, and I played with Lizzy.
Really?
And I was 19 for 3 months. That was long enough.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and the last thing I've done to do with Lizzy about 13 years ago, Bob Robertson said to me, "Why don't we get up and do a gig?" We'd done a gig. He said, "We'll form a band and call it Almost Lizzy." but I knew Phil really well, but it didn't work out for reasons which really far too involved. But the thing was, we was doing these gigs supporting Lizzy, and we'd done this thing at the Marquee. We were supporting them, and I used to do this thing at the Strat, but I'd play it. And after using it for about, I don't know, a few minutes and mucking about, I used to throw it at the amplifier. And I'd have an old Strat, a 58 Strat, and I'd basically just give it this, and I'd like spin it and hurl it at the amp. And my Marshall amps at the time had all dents in the speaker cloth
really,
and stuff.
from where you chucked it?
Got in, yeah. And there was all pieces of all the side of it. It looked like it needed a haircut. Running all up down and all that, yeah.
To be fair with you though, Fenders are pretty, Strats are quite solid guitars, so you can chuck them down the stairs and they'll be fine, yeah.
I managed to bend the machine heads.
Oh really?
But that was all I did,
yeah.
Nothing else. Put another couple of pegs on.
Have you ever snapped one of the Gibson headstocks off? That's quite a common thing.
No, I've never done it.
Oh, I've seen it happen.
It happens so easy.
Yeah.
If the guitar's like an inch off the floor, it goes like that and it's gone.
Yeah, they're sensitive. But
I know.
Yeah.
That happened with I had the Greenie Gary Moore Les Paul for a couple of years, and that had a broken headstock, but that was a lot more bizarre because Gary went to, I think it was, I don't know where he was, but he was somewhere and he had a BMW and the guitar was in the boot and a van hit it, broke the car off, and that took the headstock off. That was a bit excessive, really. That's just
saddening, isn't it? I hate to see guitars in pain.
No, but I've had worse than that. I was going to buy a Paul Kossoff Les Paul, and it's the one that was sold recently, funny enough, after Ram owned it after Kossoff's death. And it was for sale in 1974 when I was 19.
Wow.
And that guitar, literally, like, if this is it, from there, there's like a sort of an arc there, like a smiley face.
Yep.
From there, it was a new neck.
Really?
Because Kossoff fell off the stage.
Yeah.
And he managed to smash the thing to pieces. And he done a silly thing because he wasn't very well, was Paul, and he threw the headstock into the audience. Not realised.
It didn't retrieve it.
He chucked half his guitar away. So, but that guitar, so I played that at a guitar show a few years ago. That same guitar, yeah.
Wow.
I remember it was in Orange Music because he sold it and he bought it back again, and it was 450 quid, a 59 burst. With half. It's
not bad going, is it, really?
I know.
Yeah.
And there was a natural one that he played on top of the Pops with free recorded All Right Now. And that was 550. So I could have bought a pair for £1,000.
That's good.
I didn't buy them.
Why?
Because they were wrecked. When Paul Kossoff finished with something, it was over. On the way here today, I'm playing all the old songs in the car and getting into it, listening to a bit of Free or whatever, and it's just great. But I've been very privileged because my job was a specialist and vintage hire company that I had for 34 years. So I met everybody. I met very few people I could say, even like from your sort of era, like Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. I met all those guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Met all the guys in the biz.
And do you know what? I had a funny thing happen with Steve Vai. I was doing a show uptown, and when my friend Jesse first designed the Lazy J's, and I was up there and I was standing there, and there was guys walking around. A guy walks around, and I knew back in the day I knew Robert Plant from Zeppelin, and he looked just like Robert Plant. I thought, he was like, if he hadn't have been young, I would have thought it was Robert.
Yeah.
He was way too young for Robert. So I'm like, oh shit. And I'm standing there on the Lazy J stand watching people. I saw someone else reminding me of someone. I couldn't place it, but it wasn't. And this guy walked up to me, and a dead ringer for Steve Vai.
Really?
And I said, I'll tell you what, mate. I said, I've seen some sort of lookalikes today. I said, but you really are a dead ringer for Steve Vai. You know what he said?
What did he say?
I am Steve Vai.
How embarrassing.
I love embarrassing.
Did he laugh about it?
Yeah.
Though? Oh, that's okay.
I do a really good embarrassing. I actually have spent my life going out of my way to make things embarrassing and awkward.
It's a story to tell, though, isn't it? Really?
Oh, it's great, and it was. And we've become really good mates, and he's bought some things from me. He uses Lazy J. He's got them.
All right, okay.
So does Strats. He uses them as well. Lots of people. I mean, it's all. That's the thing that I find interesting. So I met all these people, and when Jesse, who used to be our amp maintenance guy for the hire company, when he started building Lazy J's, I was taking to everybody. Like when Jeff Beck played with Eric Clapton at the O2. About 7-8 years ago, I took an amp there, and because they're both Fender and dual Cs, they loved it, so they couldn't be seen with them, so they put them around the back of the stage and mic'd them up.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's cheeky.
Was very cheeky, because they got to look after their dual C.
Yeah.
So it's been a nice day. Played with some old buddies.
Yeah. So all in all, a good time, eh?
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye out for you now. I'm doing your shredding.
Yeah, well, you know, it's what I'm known for.
See, this is a funny thing. You could probably decipher very easily what I do, because it's simpler.
It's the way you go about it, though. It's the feel, isn't it?
It's just
Fast and steady has a different sort of feel to, you know, straight up.
I can't think what you
rocking,
play,
yeah.
let alone play it. I can't. Do you know what I mean? I can't mentally get my head round how do you play that amount of notes.
You just turn into a robot and you just do it. You just do. It just takes a bit of practice, you know. I always swear by metronomes, though. If you need a tip, metronomes.
Do you know
are
I used to do that?
Yeah.
But I used to time, using a metronome, I used to time riffs.
Oh,
so,
right. Time them?
No, what? No, I don't mean as in, I can put it, I work them into a song.
Okay.
So I get the speed on the metronome. So I want to play some really totally across the actual rhythm of the song. So it's sort of going to say for example, and I want to go almost like a drum riff.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I used to do using the metronome. So you go dun dun dun.
And you'd plan how you would play it all in, yeah. To make sure
get it right on that
to make
stroke.
sure you landed on the right
Because then you
one.
knew if you hit that stroke, wherever you go off to, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's self-indulgent, but then I think he wouldn't be a guitar player if he wasn't self-indulgent.
No, of course
you
not.
know?
Yeah.
If he was self-indulgent, no, if he was actually caring too much about everything and what should be done, you'd be playing bass guitar.
Cool. And you don't like bass guitar?
No, I do.
I like it. Don't stop it. I like it. It's the darkest hour of the darkest night. It's a million miles to the morning light. I can't get no sleep. I don't know what to do. I've got those midnight blues.
know,
It's been lovely to chat to you.
and it's been a good day, and it's been nice talking to you because I just want to see you play now and see how. So next time you're playing around town, let me know.
Yeah,
It'd be great
of course,
to come and see because I like to see what's going on with everyone
in the scene at the moment.
Yeah,
of course.
That's cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Great to meet you. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks.
I can't get no sleep. I don't know what to do. I got those midnight blues. I got those midnight blues. I got those midnight blues. I've got those midnight